Cool. So Zainab and I are gonna pair and do the cars and brands exercise from Friday. And we'll see how far we get in the hour. And Zainab, I know you said you had a Python virtual environment that you set up and we're just reusing. Do we need a new database?
Probably, yeah. I'll check what the database name is. Is it in?
Settings.py.
No, sorry, I was looking at the doc on my other screen. One
No worries.
Let me do that quick. I'll keep forgetting. Then activate.
Yeah.
Okay. Settings.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't use an existing one.
Tar app. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So I'm just gonna create cart. Was it? Yeah. Is the server running? Oh, I don't think I.
Nice.
Doing another one. So create DB and cart.
Yeah. And I don't know if you want to be in the Python virtual environment in this terminal or not, but just FYI, because I always forget that when I'm like making new terminals.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I think I'll keep this for like any PC goal stuff that we need.
Cool.
Okay.
So I'm looking over this, so, and this is good, like, this is a good exercise too, because there's sort of like a standard, like once you folks do it a couple times, you'll kind of recognize, all right, these are the things I always do when I'm kind of creating a CRUD app. And CRUD stands for create, read, update, delete, or destroy. And, the basic idea being that like, those are really the main things that we can do with data, right? Because at the end of the day, our programs are all about the data. And all the user interface stuff is really important. But a lot of the times, the most important thing is just getting access to that data in a controlled fashion to be able to view it or modify it or add to it or delete from it. And that's really what we're doing here. Like, we're not worrying about the user interface. So it's a lot of database work and some schema work, and obviously using Django ORM and then creating some routes. And the way to read like a doc like this, as I'm kind of looking it through, because Dalton, you do make a good point. It is kind of vague. Like, it gives us the recommended steps of how to do things, but it's really this list of routes at the bottom that gives us the information that we need. And I'm going to talk through it just because I need to refresh myself. We've got like a /brands route, and that's a list of all the car brands. So whenever we are like just viewing information or sending information to the client, to the browser, that's going to be a get endpoint. So /brands, and in fact, that really should be notated in this doc, because that's normal when like sketching out routes like this. So we've got a get endpoint to view all the car brands, a post endpoint to submit a form for a new brand, a get endpoint to see a specific car by ID, a post or put endpoint to edit a brand, and then let's see, a get endpoint to view all the cars belonging to a particular brand, another post endpoint to create a car but belonging to a specific brand. Okay, because we've got the brands and the cars, right. And then, so basically being able to create, read, update, and destroy brands, and then create, read, update, and destroy cars. And then we have the relationship between brands and cars. So my first thought is a good starting point might just be to build the brand stuff and not worry too much about the cars. And then we can start adding in cars. What do you think, Zainab?
Do you mean route wise, like the actual views and stuff, or do you mean in the models?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was thinking views and models, to be honest, but I'm open. Like I feel like at least like the get brands endpoint, it might be nice to have that working end to end with the route and models and a little bit of like mock brand data.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, and I'm totally down. Like if there's a different approach that you like or that you've done, like I'm more than down for that. There's definitely a couple different ways to do this and to skin this cat.
No, that sounds good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it then. And folks, kind of the context for this, what I've kind of learned is like, it's like the skill of taking something and breaking it up into like very small, complete features. So like the first feature is going to be viewing brands. So that's where we're going to start. And we're going to build everything we need to do so that we can view information about a brand. Awesome. Yeah. And let's get a path, that brand's path. And let's give it, yeah, a view.
So I'm gonna change this, but let me just do that.
Yeah. And do you want to do the view code or the model code first, Zainab?
Probably the model code. Yeah, I just wanted to
Cool.
create a few things. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. No, I'm on the same page.
Okay. So we want to define a brand.
Correct, but it's going to be a class.
Thank you. I always forget that.
No worries. I know the feeling.
Class brand.
I'm thinking a name, and I don't know if it really needs anything else at the moment. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what information there is.
They don't, yeah, they don't
That's the
really,
name. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
which is, yeah. Yeah, I have a couple thoughts what we can do to build on the name actually, but I think it'll be cool to build this stepwise. Yeah, so this is really all we need. I did have one thought with the name, which is that the brand name should probably be unique.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what should we do for that?
Yeah, I actually have to Google. Does anyone remember that one off the top of their head? It might just be like, I'm curious if it's unique.
Unique equals true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. Awesome. Yeah, and this is where like they're kind of asking us to exercise our imagination, and where it also just takes some practice and experience in kind of like building data models like this to learn kind of like what kind of things to think about.
I'm just gonna write the car class.
Yeah, go for it.
Here, yeah.
That's a good point. We're right here. Like we're thinking about models. Yeah, let's do it.
Name? No. What would it mean?
Yeah, I feel like a car
Okay.
can totally have a name.
Yeah. So brand would be foreign key,
That would be
right?
yes, because a brand can have multiple cars, but a car should only belong to one brand.
Mhm.
So I think that's correct. Yeah.
I forgot what else to put in here.
I'm Googling up that doc as well. I think that's one thing too. Like folks, like I definitely always have like a bunch of tabs open with docs. And honestly, this is why having two monitors is really, really nice when developing. So you can have your docs on one screen and your code on the other. Let's see here.
That's why during this camp I got a third monitor going.
Nice. Yeah, like if a company ever hires you to be a software developer and they don't give you an external monitor, I think in this day and age that's a red flag. So we need to provide the name of the model that's the foreign key, which is in this case brand.
As the class or how?
Yeah, let me just grab.
I forgot. I did this 2 days ago.
I know it goes out of the brain so quickly. I'm just going to grab it from our demos and notes and I'll paste it in fact.
Thank you.
For sure. And I was looking it up as well. So okay, so the first argument name is just the name of the class. So just brand.
Okay.
And then we have to decide the on delete behavior. And I think cascade makes sense. Like I think if we delete, it would either be cascade or protect. And maybe we want, I actually think, so it's kind of, so here's sort of a design decision. I'm curious, what do you think, Zainab? Like, do we want to let someone delete a brand when there are cars for it? Or would we want to not allow that?
Not. Yeah, we wouldn't want cars to be brandless.
Right. Right. I think it would be cascade or protect, which would, I think, would force you to delete all the cars individually.
I think cascade would be
Cool.
the best one. Yeah.
And then optionally related name, which I feel like is sort of whatever, right? If we don't include it, it just defaults to like the name of the table _ set.
Yeah.
And that should be, I probably just brands, and that has to go in double quotes, I think, singular double quotes.
So but a car can't have two brands, right? It would only have one.
Correct.
Okay.
And for related name, I think there's an extra set of parentheses.
Where?
I think it should just be related name.
Oh, it's just the actual. Yeah, I see it.
Cool.
Okay, so model is just like the name of the model of the car. So I'll just do max. Oops. I don't know how long to make
yeah, I usually just use text fields or just max it out. So I think whatever you want is fine. Okay. I think we should make this one unique as well. What do you, well, actually,
maybe,
sorry, go ahead.
Maybe we should add also a year. And
yeah,
because different cars can have the same model, but there's like model and year.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And I think if we did a unique constraint, we would want like, I don't even think we should do a unique constraint right now, but I was thinking like unique, like brand and model. But
so
you make a really good point about cars having a year. Like there's a 76 Taurus, a 77 Taurus.
Yeah. So we said if we wanted to keep track of when it was added. No, we don't want that.
Yeah, I don't think we want the auto now stuff.
This is probably the format. I'm just gonna try year. I don't know if this is correct. Let me look it up real quick.
I think that's correct. I'm looking that up as well.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it looks like we might even be able to use integer field.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, let's just do that.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So isn't that related name just gonna give every instance of a brand a dot brands? So it's gonna be like brand dot brands. Shouldn't the related name be cars?
oh, I think you're right. You're correct. We got that backwards. I apologize, Zainab.
Yeah. So for the, I understand this part, but
Shouldn't
are we-
shouldn't the brand have the foreign key, not the car?
that's what I was thinking,
Hmm.
but
Oh, I may have gotten that wrong. Well,
Yeah, it's backwards.
is it?
Yeah. Whatever the foreign keys inside, here you're saying that a brand has many. Well, I mean,
That
no,
one,
I think you're right. A brand has
yeah,
many
that,
cars.
that one I'm not sure about. Let me,
Yeah, because a brand doesn't have a model or a year. A car has a brand, model, and a year.
mhm.
yeah, I think the
It's
foreign
just-
key's in the right place, but I think,
But wouldn't you want a mini to one? Like, isn't that like, wouldn't you want the brand to have many cars so the foreign key would go on the brand? As opposed to now the car has one brand?
so
Hmm.
I'm looking in the Django docs and what they're showing me, and this also lines up with what we have in our demo notes, is that the foreign key, like the foreign key identifies goes on the side that has like one thing. Like a car has one brand, but a brand has many cars. So I'm pretty confident about that because I'm looking at the Django docs for the foreign key relationship right now. And that's how Django implements it. They probably have a description of it. But yeah, and related name, I mean, we can take or leave that because it provides us one by default. So I think we're fine there.
Yeah. Do we set like a constraint or something saying that a car would only have one brand? So,
No, the foreign key does that by its own behavior. Yeah, like what's going to happen is we create a car and we can point it to a brand, and that's its foreign key. And then the brand can have many different cars.
Yeah, the way I think about that is when you like try to do this in the admin module, when you're actually adding cars, is if it's a foreign key, it's just a drop down and then you're selecting the brand.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and the way that the two-way relationship works is like right now we could do brand dot like cars underscore set or car underscore set, and that would give us all the cars belonging to that brand. And that's the two-way relationship that the foreign key builds for us. Yeah, so with Django ORM, with the foreign key, you define the foreign key on the model, which is on the one side of a one-to-many. It's so hard to describe. Let me.
But if you don't have the related name, you can't call like Mitsubishi dot cars.
We can because
Part would be the car set thing, right, Zainab, that you showed us,
yeah,
or brand set?
yeah, Django always builds us that two-way relationship. Related name just lets us give our own name to it.
Gotcha.
so if you guys want.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, Alicia, you're exactly right. I think the only other thing we should do here, maybe Zainab, is just give the integer field a constraint so that it's like a 4.
Yeah, I was thinking of adding a validator.
I think that's a great call. We should just add a validator and we should just write our own because that's a lot easier than looking through the Django docs. I'm not going to lie.
So let's just do two digit and have Y2K all over.
I was gonna say, can you do just max length for that too?
We could,
Or no?
I think,
I don't think integers have max length. Let me see.
They have a built-in one.
Oh, unique for year, is that? No.
No, you can't overwrite that. You'd have to do like the
I
float
see
one.
max
that
length right
lets
there on
you-
the second line.
Could we just do like a max and a minimum? Keep it within, like, we know there aren't any cars before like 1800, 1900. And then,
yeah.
you know, to date.
Or we can make this a char field and make the max length before. And then the validator would check that it's 4 numbers.
yeah, I think we should keep it an integer field. I'm seeing that they have a positive integer field.
Okay.
So I think let's make it a positive integer field. And I vote for adding our own validator because I think that it's simple.
Yep. Where
Um,
do we put the validator? In here?
Yep, we just need open and close brackets because it's going to list. It's going to go in a list.
What is it? Like that?
Oh,
What do you
oh,
mean? In
yeah.
here?
Yep. And then let's just call it maybe car underscore year underscore validator inside those brackets. And I'm not sure if we want to define the validator function inside the class. I don't think we want to define it inside the model class.
Okay.
I think
Without
we just,
Like just,
yep, I think we want to put it before the class declaration though.
okay.
Otherwise, I think we'll get an error.
I thought we would put stuff that was related to the classes in the class.
I'm not 100% on that. I'm just looking at the examples that we have. The validator methods are in a separate file or sometimes in the same file. I
Mhm.
will say, generally speaking, that might work too. That might just be a pattern we haven't seen with Django, to be completely
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, this is fine as long as it works. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that is a good point though. That'd be something good to circle back to.
So would we send in the input?
Yes, we would.
Okay. And what do we want to do?
Yeah, let me grab that example to look at real quick. Oh, Michael, thank you for posting that. I was thinking about that like there's gonna be, what if there's like a really old car or something? So I think let's
Cars first made.
yeah, 1886. How about 1800? And then that gives us room to maneuver.
Okay.
So it's got to be greater than 1800. And we just need to return a Boolean for a validator function.
So greater than 1800. We should probably say and less than or equal to the current year. Actually, no, because
No,
they usually do models like after the current year. Yeah.
yeah, I think for now we want to leave that unbounded because who knows, hopefully our database, our code will be used for dozens of years. And we can just refactor those 2 lines to just be return input greater than 100.
Yes.
And I think for the moment, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean,
Should we raise a validation error?
you know, I don't even think we need to raise an error. I'm looking at an example. I think Django will do that for us. if it returns false. And right now it's true, I could stick in some ridiculous year, like the year 12,233, but my vote would be to let that be okay for the moment.
Frankly, unless you just limit it to 4 digits, period, then you can't really protect against wrong data. You can just kind of guide the user to get as close as you can limit them to. So
Yeah, and this raises a good point. Like a lot of the times at this low of a level, like, you know what I mean? Like in a real application, we can put other kinds of validations, like say maybe closer to the user input form or something, and control the user input that way. How are you feeling about this, Zainab?
Good, sorry, I had to close my window because there's a car that's, yeah, with a broken horn outside. Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah,
no
it
worries.
seems- so save and make migration.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I totally forgot about saving and committing and yeah, car belongs to brand. What did we get?
Migrate. Okay,
What was that warning message out of curiosity? Okay. I think it's just telling us that it creates a primary key field.
mhm. Yeah,
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
I've probably seen that before and just forgotten. Yeah, I think next up we've got should we make some should we make some mock
Yeah.
data?
Let's do that. Do we want to do the fixtures like last time?
That would be my vote. Yeah.
Yeah, those worked pretty well.
Cool. Yeah, I like those two. Yeah.
It's JSON, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Um,
And let me find the example.
oh,
I
the
know that yeah, it was an array of objects, and I think model was one of the field names for each JSON object.
Mhm.
Yeah, so for folks who haven't really, we've talked about it a bit, but JSON stands for like JavaScript object notation. And it's just a format for text that looks very similar to JavaScript and is easy to use with JavaScript. It's kind of become the language of how to pass information around the web for a lot of things. Okay, here we go. And I found the example. So we need a model key.
Okay.
And then the value is the name of the app dot the name of the model. So like,
Those cars and brands.
yeah.
And then dot the model brands.
I think
Lower
they can be lowercase, which should be fine.
brand.
And then we need to add a field called PK, which is short for primary key, which I think we have to do with fixtures. And yeah, just set it to 1. And then for the brand, we just want, oh, and then we have a field called fields, plural. And that is also an object. And then in here, we do a key value for each of our field names. So just name and whatever brand we want to throw in there. What brand do people want to
I'm gonna just
see?
because I have that car.
Nice. I think we need, I'm not sure if Jason will complain, but I think we should remove the space between the semicolon and the key. It should be fine. Never mind. I apologize. Yeah, Jason doesn't care about spaces. I forgot.
I'll do another one. Two, give me another brand.
Tesla.
Tesla? Okay.
Nice.
I can't spell Tesla, apparently. Okay. And another.
Don't you need a year or no?
Not for the brand.
Or did I put that on the wrong one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the individual cars are going to have a brand, but the brand is just the brand itself, not the car.
Yeah, the brand doesn't have a lot of info at the moment.
Anything?
Honda was thrown out in the chat.
Honda.
I always thought the old Civic hatchbacks were cool.
Oh, never mind.
So you could do all this in the shell, right? You wouldn't have to make a picture if you didn't want to, or is there a difference?
Yeah, you
That
can.
is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you could do it in the shell.
Yeah, yeah, you wouldn't do it with JSON, but yeah, exactly. You'd create a new like model instance and pass in data and stuff.
And is that when you have to use like dot save, or is that something
Correct.
different?
Mhm.
Yep, exactly.
Is this enough data? Just 3
Yeah, that looks great to me. We can run it and
data and then brands. Right, or no?
I believe that's correct.
Brands.json.
It doesn't need it for the load data command. It actually doesn't want the file extension. I think we're good. That was all bright yellow, but it was all warnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you, Michael. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Let's confirm that it's there, and then we can make some cars fixtures, and our data will be great, and then we can throw together a couple routes and views.
What was it? /D. Okay.
Yeah, and then if you do like
Oh, okay.
/E, the table name, it'll give info on the table. Select star from cars and brands _brand. Oh, Alicia, we typed Python manage.py load data.
Yeah, here is the, where is it? No, this is migrate. Here it is. This is the command. And then just the name of the file.
Correct. Yeah.
Our data's in there.
Awesome. You want to do a fixture for like a car?
Sure.
What
Yeah,
do you think?
let's do it.
Cool. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Just copy and paste it. Nice.
So for the fields, actually, I'll just. What were the fields again?
That is a question. Model. I hope
Brand
that's not a
model.
protected word. I doubt it would be, but
How would we add
the brand foreign.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me look in the fixture file. I feel like we did this the other day too. It might be by foreign key.
Oh, that makes sense.
Let's see, I think in the Twitter project we had No, we didn't even have fixtures there. Let me Google to double check.
Yeah, Dalton, the shell is, it's pretty interesting. I know some people have started coding Python with just using like a terminal and not having an actual file that runs. And it is pretty weird to have like your code just kind of be in different command lines and it like keeps track of it. I don't know. It is weird.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like to that point, like can you essentially never use the shell to do everything we've been doing in class? Because like when I'm trying to do homework, I feel like I essentially just get caught up trying to like write shell commands and then I can't see what I've done. And it like this fixtures essentially just replace the shell.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much for loading data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Would there be anything though that like you have to use the shell for if you're using fixtures?
There's, sorry,
Oh.
go ahead.
No, I said it. I don't know how we're gonna add the brand, so I feel like adding it using the shell would be a little more straightforward because we can say like
We could.
the brand where the ID is this or something like that. And
I Googled up an example. I
Mhm.
think we can just use the primary key. So my vote would be to give it a shot for like just one example and let's see if it works.
we'll say brand is one, right?
Uh,
Or-
yes, correct. Yep. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a string.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, you're good to go. Yeah, Dalton, I feel like the shell is really good for like interacting with data once it's in there. And it's also just a question of getting used to it. Yeah, and the year is going to be an integer. Yep, and then models is a string.
This is for the Toyota. Let's say Camry. I don't-
Like once you start getting used to the shell, it can be a really nice way to kind of like prototype some queries that you have to make. That's what I've used it a lot for in the past.
So I'm gonna try loading this. Okay, it says it loaded it, so
Cool.
let's see what's in here.
Yeah.
Hey, awesome. Brand ID is one. So
And yeah, I guess if we really wanted to, we could load up the shell and test the two-way connection and be like
I was,
brands.objects.all
yeah,
or brand.cars_set.objects.all.
Mm,
Was there an import JSON or something somewhere?
Oh, to get this data into the database?
Yeah, because when I run the Python loads, I have a bunch of stuff popping up. And it says it's not able to do it. Was there something else that you all did before that, like earlier on?
no, it's just this, just, did you migrate your,
I
Um,
did.
okay, yeah, so that's all I did. I made the migrations, I migrated, and then just did Python manage py load data and then the name of the file.
Are you doing like the name of the file with the file extension, like brands.json?
No, it was just brands. I did it
Okay.
exactly as she wrote it.
That's cool. I find it really confusing that Django does it the way it does.
And you're sure you have the fixtures folder?
Yes.
Okay. What's the error? What is it saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It says deserialization error from exe.
Oh, maybe there is a typo in the JSON. That is a possibility. And JSON can be a little persnickety. Like it doesn't like trailing commas, for example. Maya, try throwing your JSON, I think, into that website. And if you hit the validate, it will confirm if there's like a syntax error in the JSON. And that, I think that's a good starting point
Thank you.
for sure. Yeah, like the trailing commas with JSON is annoying, and depending on how strict the formatter is, that's always like an issue.
So I wonder what happens when if we try to load this again and this one already exists. Does it just ignore it and then loads the rest?
That's a good question. Oh, Michael says it ignores it.
It ignores it. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
What's the second one? I guess correctness doesn't matter, but I don't know Tesla brands.
Model S.
Yeah.
Model
that's-
S.
That's the only thing okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just add one more at least.
Cool.
Okay, awesome.
Can you go back to your brands real quick so I can just see it?
The
The
brands.
brands JSON.
Mhm.
Why do they both have primary keys? I guess I don't understand.
So this is the primary key for this record. So our ID is going to be our primary key. So if you look
Oh, I guess I meant, where do you put the foreign keys?
at, you just put it as here. So we put brand and then we put
Okay,
the ID number. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, like at the level of SQL, it's just the car table that has a foreign key column. And then Django, I think, creates like another table to maybe track those for its two-way relationships.
Yeah, because in here you can see in the car table, this is what an entry looks like, and then brand ID is one of the columns, and that's how it connects it. We were gonna test the connection, but I guess we can just do it in a view. We don't need to use the shell.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah, we should keep rolling.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm just gonna do an index one. Django HTTP.
Do folks have questions? Is this making sense so far? Cool.
Work on first, or
Thank you for the thumbs up, Michael. Sorry, Zaina.
perfect.
Yeah, is this going to be for viewing brands?
I think so. Let's just do brands.
Yeah, that helps me because it helps me keep
It helps me
track
too.
of stuff. Okay, cool.
Sorry, not there. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna import also our models. So
Dot
think-
models, maybe.
yeah. Import brand and car.
Yeah, cool.
Quick, so I don't get mixed up here. Did you guys, for your project URL, did you use brands, or were you gonna make that a separate /path? Like, is that your home or not? I
Not yet.
noticed everything starts with brands, so I wasn't sure which direction you guys were gonna go with that.
So for the URL, I don't have anything hooked up yet. I was starting off with just like an index one, but now I'm gonna change this to brands because I want to see the brands on the first
Yeah.
page.
And let's change the path to be brands as well, which is
Yeah.
also what they ask us to do in the spec.
Okay, yeah, that was the one I was talking about was. Okay, oh,
Do we want the leading slash with Django? I always forget this.
Is it, I have no idea, honestly.
You want trailing slash.
Trailing, okay, cool.
Thank you.
This, I'm just gonna do this real quick before I forget.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember my pair program runner and I spent like 30 minutes with it.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Oh, like what's the problem? And then it's like, oh, we have a leading slash.
Yeah, you like quadruple check everything. It's like, it looks all good.
I forgot what it was. It was the name of the app, right? Cars and Brands,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Thank you, Zena.
URLs, I think.
I think that's correct. Can someone confirm? Does that look good to the group?
yeah, but you
Well,
might need the comma at the end.
Oh, the comma, yes. I always forget that one. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Let me run the server to make sure that I don't have like big errors. Okay, brands,
Oh,
views. Oh, that's because I didn't save the view yet. And yeah, this is fine to get an error. Okay, cool.
nice. Nice.
Let's see. So now we want to get all the brands, right?
Mhm.
And objects
Yep.
dot all.
Yep. There's probably more we could do, like to get the name and stuff. I think maybe just like passing that brands into a template is
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
so yeah, let's just have like HTML tag, or we don't even need them if you don't want to worry about it right now.
Yeah. It's gonna say brands.
Cool. I like it.
And then we'll do a for loop.
Sounds good. And
Is
let me
it
copy
for?
it.
Oh no, I put the
It is
for.
variable name in. Yep, that looks great.
Brands. I have to do.
Yep. Awesome. Nice. And then our list. Oh yeah, close it out for sure. Good call.
Is it end loop?
End for all one word.
End for, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Okay, and then email. There we go. Okay.
Yep. And then we just, just normal brackets, curly brackets.
Brand dot name, right?
Correct.
Simple enough.
And I think we only need one layer of curly brackets, but let me,
This one, I think for a variable you need to do.
oh, you're correct. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Okay, so we're gonna render.
Yep.
uh,
And then I always get confused about this, the path to the template file.
Yeah,
I think it's like,
is it slash brands or no? What is it?
man, I always have to look this up.
I think it's just the app name slash the template name.
Yeah,
Let name,
I
yes.
think it would just be
yeah,
and brands.
cars, yeah, cars underscore and brands slash, is it index.html?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep, except we just want to slash,
Oh, slash, okay.
yep,
Okay, and then in here we want, oh, because it's the nested, that's why we have this folder. Because it's accessing templates in general when it's rendering, and then you're telling it to go to the cars and brands folder and then index inside of it.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And
Yeah.
now I believe we pass, yeah, a dictionary.
Okay, this should work
That'll do it. Yeah.
in theory, which is what we always hope for.
I think you need to render the request too, don't you?
What is it?
Oh,
Like render request, comma, cars and brands.
Render request?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes.
first
yes,
parameter.
yeah. Thank you, Dalton. Good call.
yes. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna grab one of my tabs over here. Localhost / brands. Awesome.
I love it.
Okay, so that's one of them.
Cool. Okay.
Trying to see the requirements. Okay.
Let's see. So
New. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
What were you saying?
I was gonna say that it's 10 to 5 almost. So realistically, we can't do a ton. And I feel like the next natural step would either be like to list like information about like a specific brand or like a specific car, or we could like add a form. But I feel like we're pretty tight on time for to get like a post, like a update endpoint done. I feel like. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Could you create a cars one real quick, just to make sure that it got the brand foreign key?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Adam, while she's doing that, I have a question. So on mine, I didn't realize you guys did the template / cars and brands, but I don't really understand, like, what's the purpose of that? Because isn't the templates already in the cars and brands? Like, isn't that redundant?
Do you mean the where it's like render request and then cars and brands / index?
Well, no, so like where her mouse is, you guys made like an additional folder, but I didn't do that and it still works. And I guess I just don't,
I
like,
was
I don't see why, like, I don't understand why you would make another folder.
It works, but Django documentation says in case you have more than one app, that you're supposed to do it embedded like that,
Yeah.
Okay.
because it'll search through it and it'll look for the first index.html that it finds if you didn't specify the app that it's supposed to be in.
Cool.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't know
cool.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, it becomes relevant for like bigger projects.
we should be able to just return this too, right? The
Yep.
same thing.
Yeah, Alicia, what did you want to see in the URLs file? There's not much there right now. It's just pretty much / brand or brands.
Yeah, mine's just not rendering, so I was wondering if I just had to disconnect because I had started an index.html template and you didn't, so I wondered if I had a different URL path than you guys do.
We used index.html for the first one. But yeah, so this is cars. So I'll do car name. We had name, right? Or was it make?
Model.
Model, sorry. Yeah. So we need the brand, model, and year. Which is where am I?
Yeah.
Let me fix this first.
Yeah, no worries.
And then cars. That is complete.
You could probably do it like it's normally said, where it's like year, brand, model.
Yeah. I got here. Oops. Brand dot name probably.
Yes,
I don't know if that's how I
I
can
think we did that the other day, and I think that worked. Yeah.
awesome. And then model. Okay. Anything else that I need to add? Hopefully not.
I think that looks
Oh,
good.
the URL,
Oh yeah, that never hurts.
that would help. Or cars. Oh. What did I do? There we go. And another. A good measure. Okay. That's. I don't know where it went. Okay, oops.
Nice. Oh yeah, so many tabs.
So many. And it memorized the polls one.
Uh,
Cars.
cars. Yep.
That's not what I want to see. Let's see. Oh, okay. Can anyone tell me what I did wrong, or did anyone catch it? It's in here.
I have the
The returning the
Oh.
index.html again.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good catch. Yeah, that's dangerous too, because it doesn't throw a breaking error.
Yeah.
That's the worst kind of a bug when you don't get a breaking error, because it's harder to tell what's going on.
I agree. But yeah,
I definitely had that issue where I had a search page for assessment 3 and it took you to a results page. And I copy and pasted the views and I
Mhm.
forgot to change it to results.html.
Mhm.
And so it kept taking me from the search.html back to the search HTML. And I just beat my head on the desk for like 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it's the worst. Yeah, I'm not
And
kidding.
then you like double check everything that you thought you knew too.
Yeah, I really think like taking a 5-minute break is like the best debugging technique, because I can't count the number of times I've spent 2 hours doing that. And then when I get up and walk away and do something else, my subconscious figures it out. And I'm like, oh man, that's
That's so
exactly
cool.
what's going on.
Can we see your cars template again real quick?
yeah, one sec. Sorry, I have a lot of windows and I have 2 screens and I'm trying to go back and forth between them.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
like Alicia and Maya, if either of you are still blocked, maybe we can quickly like debug and
I'm
unblock
good.
you before. Okay, cool.
I got mine to work too. Thank you.
Okay, awesome, for
That
sure.
website got me together.
Yeah, what was the issue with the JSON, Maya?
I forgot my commas in between each of the
Yeah,
objects.
it's crazy strict about commas. Yeah, that makes sense. That's good too. That's kind of just how you learn. Like, it's just, I don't know. I wish I knew a shortcut for like how to kind of like interpret the error messages. I think it's just kind of experience. So now it's like you folks kind of know, like, all right, if I'm doing this and I'm in this situation, I'm seeing like a JSON related error again. All right, maybe it's like the format of the file.
So for you guys, when you're developing and you come across an error and you don't it's not even an error, there is no error, it's just not working and you're trying to figure out why. It's kind of hard to debug here. There's a pretty decent debugger in the inspection tool. So this is more helpful, I guess, for JavaScript and stuff like that, which we don't have right now, but I would be able to This will come in handy also when we're doing React later. You can add breakpoints here and then refresh the page, and it would stop at that point, and you can see the variables. And like, let's say we have a variable called cars over here. You'd be able to see what's in that variable at that moment of time, so you can kind of debug that way. It's pretty helpful tool. It got me through a lot of issues.
Totally. Yeah. It's using the debugger in the browser for JavaScript is super helpful.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else, guys, for this? Any questions? No?
Awesome. Yeah. So the one bit we didn't have enough time to get to that I think is like if we had more time to continue pairing would be a good next step is they ask when they lay out the routes, they suggest like a route where you get a specific brand by ID. So like that would be a very straightforward one to do from here. And then I think the interesting one is where you see a list of all cars for a particular brand. And I think that would be the next one to build. And like if I was doing, like when we got to that, we would probably want to add in like 2 cars for at least one of the brands. So we have a little more data that represents our situation. But hopefully this was helpful and just to kind of reinforce a lot of this stuff, and also just to see how to kind of do it in a very like step-by-step manner.
Definitely.
Yeah. Shall I stop the recording?
Yeah, please.